at the John Birch Society, the Washington Post, the Christian Science Monitor, the New York Post, and the Freeman. So why don't you all give a big round of applause for Becky Akers.
Thanks, everybody. Hey, it's great to be here blasting the Fed, right? You know, you have to wonder what bozo ever came up with the idea of giving politicians a hand in our money. Boom and bust, business cycles, recession, depression, inflation. Of course, inflation does ease the pain a bit every April 15th, doesn't it? I always think, hey, go ahead, steal most of what I earned last year. It's not worth anything now anyways. Yeah, politicians are real financial wizards. They not only created taxes and inflation, they gave us the war on poverty. And 40 years into it, what do we have? The poor folks are still poor, and now they're bailing out the rich corporations. Go figure. But hey, that's the way it always works. So at least you can say government is consistent in its evil. No matter where it interferes, education, the environment, the economy, hey, I haven't even left the E's yet, it louses things up beyond recognition. Here's another consistency. Politicians always come out on top, and the rest of us scramble to pay for it. In fact, something I modestly call Becky's Law kicks in here. When a politician really messes up our lives, the more he lies, the more he steals, the more he plunders us, the more elections he's going to win. It's always been that way, too. Remember Tom Paine explaining the origins of government and common sense? He said if we could trace government back to the dawn of history, to its beginnings, we'd find the first ruler was, quote, nothing better than the principal ruffian of some restless gang, a guy so brutal he became the, quote, chief among plunderers. But this ruffian was also disingenuous and persuasive. Every time he beat up another one of his subjects or stole the last crust of bread from a starving child, he managed to convince everyone he was doing it for their good. Paine says these predatory politicians kept increasing in power until they, quote, overawed the quiet and defenseless to purchase their safety by frequent contributions. That's taxes to you and me. Now here's the real joke. The only safety our taxes buy us is safety from our rulers. They're the threat they're protecting us from. They're like the mob, except they're not as honest. You better pay up or they'll break your legs. But they don't protect us from anything else. If you have any doubts about that, just remember that great big hole in the ground a couple miles to the south. It gets worse. Not only don't they protect us from anything but their own violence, they actually endanger us. Now, I hope no one here is foolish enough to believe the neoconservative nonsense about 9/11, that Muslims hate our freedom, and that's why 19 guys supposedly took their own lives flying planes into buildings. If you do believe that, you probably hate Muslims about as much as they hate our liberty. But I bet you're not planning a suicide mission to Mecca right now. No. U.S. politicians and bureaucrats and statesmen are the ones who caused 9/11.